Oh, nice. Shipbuilder isn't working. All right, we're off to the red team.
Yeah, welcome to the entirety of last weekend. Remind everybody that Wargaming's API is currently broken. So as a result, many of the mods that we are used to using for casting, they don't work, including the shipbuilder. Also, funny story, if you hold the tab and look over your Shimakaze, what does it say for torpedo range? 20 kilometer if you hold tab. But according to my mod, if I hold the Alt key, it says 12 kilometer torpedoes. So Jenier is in the Shimakaze for Team Shiny. Let's take a look at lineups. He's running 12 kilometer torps. We got Glatz Bevel in the Alvaro de Bazan, Yoloente in the Daring, Keep Subs Out in the Harugumo, Balance Department following up in the Wushta, Avenger Squirrel in the Venezia, Max Bricks 1228 in the Moskva, and to back them up, we've got additional one in the Kremlin and Panzo in a Yamato. What do we have to the south, Puddin'?
To the south, we have A7 with a Gumo and a Grozvoy hauling butt to get the apples with a Des Moines, Venezia, Kremlin in tow. We also have a Wooster, a Conqueror, a Shimmy, and a Vampire 2. It looks like everybody kind of doing a BC thing. I'm going to assume, given by the split, the Wooster, Shimmy, Conqueror are going to be kiting from C, but they're going to be a little bit more mid. While the Vampire 2 goes post up at the island behind B and pops my magic, possibly Hydro button, and catches somebody off guard. Now, I could just make up builds for these guys, but I won't do that to you because I am a professional and call apples, bacon, and chocolate.
All right. So this is the Warships Classic tournament. For those of you guys unused to this tournament, we roll the clock back 5 years to 0.8.10. This is the release of the Italian heavy cruisers and Sansonetti. Wow. So the way I like to look at it with the whole mod situation is we're looking at classic ships and we're looking with classic mods. Get it?
Now, remember this, though, too. Like, do you guys ever do these tournaments and you have a choice, like, and I'm just going to use Halsey because I'm very familiar with some of his skills, but to put Halsey's on a ship, you do it. It's not because, oh, look, you're going to get Confederate. It's no, because your captain skills translate into training rooms still, i.e. your turrets return quicker, as we learned from my Alabama game, because I wanted to listen to Megadeth, and that's like, no, put Halsey on here, so your turrets turn.
Yep. Not only that, but the special commanders. Ooh, Moskva turning Conqueror. Ooh, that could have been a lot worse. The other thing too about these special commanders is they can run with the different color tracer. It actually makes it easier to understand whose shots are landing where. Very interesting early position, smoking the Moskva up there. We've seen teams do this before on both sides of the island, but I'll tell you what, the north side is kind of more precarious because it's got that nice area of flat land that allows for shells to come in and make that landfall right on whatever citadel they're trying to hit. So I don't know that I like the idea of Max Bricks going to that spot.
Well, north side is actually better protected than the south side, ironically, which is why you see the Vampire dodging torpedoes and you don't see a Moskva sitting there dodging torpedoes, because your DD can actually, with where the low islands are and where you typically put your ships, the Moskva can survive the north side way longer than on the south side, right?
Right.
So you'll see Des Moines, or in this case, a Vampire, typically here, just because they sit a little bit lower and a little bit shorter, to where Moskva is just a tad bigger. And that size does matter.
It really does.
These guys come up with strategies A for north and the south side, because most of these maps favor the north side, believe it or not.
Yes.
Just as shocked as you guys, just like Ocean, actually has a favorite side.
Now,
fix that by rotating the map.
Right. One thing I want to comment on, though, is I think A7 made a bit of a positioning mistake here. There's no reason to throw the Conqueror there. And he's trying to get these shots on max bricks, but the problem is he's too close. So the shells aren't arcing over the island. He needs to go farther away so that those shells can arc. Frankly, I'm surprised that A7 didn't bring a ship like, say, a Yamato, because a Yamato could put the plane up and hit over that island from farther away, and could definitely devastate that Moskva. He did take a torpedo, by the way.
I do think the problem with the Conqueror is he needs to be on the other side of the island. He needs to be on sea to get that distance for the shell to get the flight path correct.
Yep, exactly. So torpedoes coming in on 2 Hayes Harugumo. He just barely dodges.
Daring is caught out by... Oh my gosh, something touched the booster, and I don't know what it was, but it needs it out.
That would be the Yamato Panzo smacking him most likely. We saw, I think it was A7 did this on this exact map. They brought the Wooster and a Shimakaze. I think they had something else. I think it was a Harugumo they had over there. And the idea was to farm out whatever they could that was to the north of that island.
This Wooster's, I'm not going to lie to you guys, this Wooster's in a bad position because he's broadside to a Moskva who could have actually done that damage if he had AP loaded. But luckily it looks like Moskva's shooting the other side, so it probably was the Yamato.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the Yamato.
The kite side of C, which has 0 protection, is still under A7's control.
Well, that's partly because Shiny doesn't seem to care about it too much here, as we see torpedoes coming into additional 3's Des Moines, and Call Me Quartz's Kremlin has decided to move up and get shot at. So, that's going to happen.
I think this is...
Uh-oh. Look at the Des Moines. Kremlin's about to assassinate right here. Eek.
Ooh, Moskva's in a lot of pain. Moskva goes down first to Conqueror.
Yep, but then Kremlin does that. That was the torpedoes. That was Janier's torpedoes that forced the Des Moines out in the open. Ouch.
And like, this is where the north side of this island is much better protected, because if you look at the north side of the island, it's kind of a straight line, to where the south side's got that one little bulge, so it's not perfectly straight, but that makes a little cove, I guess, for lack of wordage, to where you get in there and you're pretty much ineffective. Like, there's only one side you can kind of fight out of. Well, you will be protected, you're also limited on what you can do, to where north side, it's a lot easier to play both, like forward, backward. I
agree. That being said, you can see what happened when you park a cruiser up there. Didn't work out too well for that Moskva. Call Me Quartz forced into kind of a safe spot right now, lost an awful lot of his hit points just to get to where he is, and now he's just going to sit there and be torpedoed. So,
Tiny has finally realized that C is completely free, and A7 can care less about it.
Yeah, they aren't really in position to do much about C right now.
Ironically, nobody is.
Frankly, that
daringly, it's going to be another could play back and forth, but more importantly, it's AB, and they're kind of set up in positions to just defend AB. They don't need 3 caps; you only need 2 to win.
Yeah, well, and A7 gladly took those free points for, what was it, like 4 minutes or 5 minutes of point gain. So, but for some odd reason, King of Hell hasn't been told he doesn't need to go to C, so he's going to C. Do not like.
You know what? When you have a destroyer that is open water is shooting you, that is a sign of disrespect and comp. And what I mean by that is, there's nothing anybody can do to stop the Daring from A, smoking up and shooting.
That's right.
To stop shooting. Right, the Venezia, of course he's going to shoot because he wants the battleship to shoot so he can pop his magic, screw you, I'm full out of here and smoke, and still do damage to you.
That's right. Meanwhile, additional ones, Kremlin for Shiny, continue to move forward now to A. You can see the response. The Grozovoy is moving to try to help his buddy, who just got shot at by the Yamato. So Brooksy's going to probably go up and try to smoke his Kremlin buddy. But he's got to be very careful. If he does this wrong, he's going to get killed. Yep. What was I just mentioning? Wooster goes ahead and radars.
I don't... Like, in all honesty, what I would be doing is, okay, I'll just play Ring Around the Rosie, and I'll just go forward, and if the Wooster wants to shoot me in the open, I'll just punch him in the face.
Oh, speaking of punching in the face, additional one does dirty things to that Grozavoy. The Grozavoy on radar was like, well, screw it, I guess I'll just YOLO torp him, and couldn't even get that to work.
I don't like the decision of Call Me Courts to just sit there still. Like,
Yeah.
I would have been doubling to go punch the Wooster in the face.
Now he's going to take a bunch up the butt.
Things, shooting and killing the Kremlin is, he's like, hold on, Kremlin buddy, I'll protect you from my friendly torps that never would have hit you anyways.
That's right. Now they do manage to get additional ones Kremlin, ironically, exactly in the same spot as that Grozavoy is currently sinking, so that's a fun death pick. But Tuhei and the Haru also took a lot of damage just now to that Wooster radar. Still alive though, and I think that's key. As now Call Me Quartz is like, okay, now I'm going to move forward and die.
Ironically, with all that going on, Shiny picked up Bravo because everything that was protecting Bravo moved to Charlie. Oh no, I said the correct things for a change.
You did, professional streamer moment. And yeah.
Seven is like, okay, there's just a Venezia. We know that Daring hightailed it out because he was disrespecting our Conqueror. So now this is an easy cap for A7.
The problem with the problem with that Kremlin at A for A7 is he pulled so much of his team around him to try to do something. And I even made the comment earlier when the Kremlin moved up there. I said he's going up there to die. And that's exactly what happened. Oh, brilliant torpedo hit on Janier Shimakaze from additional 4's Vamp Deuce. So now he can just back into B cap. That'll be an easy cap for them. Look at the Yamato Panzo going full send now. I think they've realized they got to make something happen.
Ironically, sending the Yamato forward like that, I don't agree with, because you could just take A. I mean, what is there, Venezia? You know that Gumo doesn't want to get spotted because he's literally a one tap from, you know, somebody sneezing in his general direction.
Well, yeah, I mean, generally when you move, usually when you move a battleship forward, what happens? It takes a bunch of torpedoes and dies. Panzo just took, what, 3 or 4 torpedoes from that Shimakaze, and he's not done yet. Remy now smoking up DKM's Wooster.
And this is a brilliant spot for the Wooster.
Oh yeah, he's just going to come forward and just hold down left mouse button as Panzo is going to be set on fire. Shimakaze even now getting in on this too. Obviously Remy's torpedoes are on cooldown. Everybody's shooting. Panzo, blind shot. Oh, one of them found the Citadel.
When did the Shimmy get guns? Do you know, this is a gun build Shimakaze, guys. You are seeing it live.
That's right.
A gun build Shimmy. But no, this is brilliant. You have the vampire to spot, just put everything in that smoke and start burning a Yamato down. Oh look, triple fire, and oh, he died.
Wooster even switching to AP once the triple fires were on to get more pens on the superstructure. Wow, that brings back memories.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry for killing in North Carolina.
Jerk.
The C cap is now once again flipped to Shiny, but with our inactive score timer, I'm going to go out on a limb and say A7's on a 1 cap win with 912 points to Shiny's 456.
Yeah, this is back in the day when you had to actually do all the math. And then somebody would do the math, and then they would be wrong with the math.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say I'm not wrong with the math. I never did, especially with the Daring dying.
There you go. Yep. YOLO gets Robocopped, and now it's Avenger Squirrel looking at the rest of the team saying, well, at least I saved my star.
I don't know. I wish it did a lot of damage to the Hiragumo. They could be a contender.
It could be a contender. Well, who got high caliber, I think, is the bigger question, right?
Nobody did because
Okay, well, nobody saves their star then, I guess.
it's Dwarven easy. It's just gonna get farmed out. But can he take the booster down with him?
That would be great. We all love time extensions.
Right, except for the people playing the game because they want this over with to move on to the next one.
That's true. This is true.
I mean, I'll give it to Shiny. They're not just quitting. They're not giving up. They're still full. We're gonna play until like game's over, which just happened
right.
now.
Yes! Death pick at the very last possible second. All right, well, let's update the numbers and stuff.
Somebody asked to increase the volume on me a little.
Okay. I can turn you up a little bit. Yeah, I've got Discord, the same settings I normally have, but with a tournament, maybe you are a little bit too quiet. What? Okay, A7's on the left. Perfect. So I'll take care of the alpha spawn here. So up to the north is A7. This is game 2 of Shiny versus A7. A7 currently up 1 in their best of 3. Looking to make this a 2-0 sweep so they can have a slight break before they get to the next setup. We'll see what happens. We have for A7 Shimakaze, this is additional 4. What is he running? Those are 12-kilometer torps. Brooksy in the Daring, Remy Lebu, and Haragumo this time. Interesting, they kind of swapped to destroyer roles. DKM in a Wushta, Sabu in a Moskva, additional 3 in a Salem this time. Sunako Kirishi in another Wushta, so they got 2. Interesting. King of Hell reprises his role as the Conqueror that's going to get shot at. And Call Me Quartz is going to be the Kremlin again. What do we have to the south?
To the south, we have a Daring going to Bacon, a Shimmy going to Chocolate, and until with the Shimmy is the Guma Wooster, possibly Kremlin. Going to assume the Kremlin's going to be a little bit in between Bacon and Chocolate. To Disgusting Apples, we have a Wooster, the Spanish. No, that's not Spanish, is it? Well, the other DD that I can't pronounce because
Alvaro de Bazan? That is
that
Spanish,
thing,
yes.
And Moskva and a Conqueror. Wait, did he put the steel key? No, okay, thank God.
I mean, they're press accounts, so what's it matter?
Right, but I was just gonna be like, are you kidding me? That's what you wasted the press account steel on, was a camo.
I mean, it's a press account, you're gonna delete it anyways. I mean, you're talking about, guys, you're listening to somebody who bought the steel camo for the FDR.
Who's that?
I have no idea.
I didn't. No. Back when you could do the fantastic thing of sell the FDR and rebuy it, I might have done that twice just as a flex.
Anyway, looking at our overall setup, both teams looking at A with more beef and otherwise about even. Actually, they're both pretty even, aren't they?
I would honestly say at this point, A7 might have a little bit more at Bacon, but it depends where the mod spot goes. But the Daring has no, well, okay. A7's Daring has no, like, yeah, I'm gonna try to contest B. I think they're setting up for, let Shiny get it. As Radar gets popped, right? Let Shiny get it, and then we'll just come in and take it. You know, we'll play the, back and forth. But going too soon, that's Moskva Radar picked up the Daring.
Yes.
Shiny's Daring, and he's like, no, thank you. Stop shooting me. That's rude.
What's interesting is a lot of teams like to keep a battleship or cruiser, kind of. See where Cookies is, like kind of in the channel there, or almost in the channel by where the Moskva is, so they can smack whatever's on the opposite side that gets picked up by radar or anything like that. But Shiny hasn't done that, and frankly, neither has A7.
This is going to be interesting. I don't think the Spanish DD has the butter smoke for the smoke train.
The Alvaro de Bazan. Now, if you hold the cursor over, you can kind of get an idea of what it has for consumables and that sort of thing. But no, it doesn't have the greatest of smokescreen capabilities.
Oh, you keep forgetting that. Was that it?
Yep, that's why I'm mentioning it now, because I'm sure people watching also have the same kind of, you know?
You know, here's an interesting food for thought for everybody while we're waiting for something to actually happen, staring at my mini map.
Hey, C's already been flipped for shiny, so there you go.
I was going to say, Radar Salem or Hydro Salem? What would you take on this map, knowing that you're probably going to be playing Alpha or in a channel?
I'd probably take a Hydro. Hydro is probably the better choice. It lasts longer, doesn't reach out as long or as far range, of course, as Radar, but the knowledge of where those torpedoes are coming from earlier is really important.
See, I would agree with one exception. If you're going to put the Salem where A7 is putting their Salem, Hydro is a better choice because you're going to get it that close to where your Hydro's going to pick up the destroyer.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to put it more by chocolate and bacon into the channel, you're actually going to be better off with Radar.
Because you can get a lot more coverage that way of the map. True.
Yeah, so I mean, like, this is food for thought, just even for you guys. Like, just because you're bringing a ship, such as Salem, right? Like, what consumable are you going to bring? Obviously, spotter plane Des Moines is best Des Moines.
Yep.
But when you're limited to either a Des Moines or a Moscow, obvious replacement is Salem.
Shiny does grab the B cap. Sabu tried to radar and prevent it, but Brooksy wasn't in position to really support. So Cookies manages to get the B cap. So now Shiny has 2 caps to A7's 1. Or sorry, A7's 0.
Now, if you notice the way Shiny took the cap, he did it to minimize anybody shooting at him, i.e. only the Daring could. Even if the Moscow backed up, the Moscow's going to back up a little bit too far to where your Moscow can just go, oh, I have AP loaded. Oh, thank you, Wargaming, for all the overpuns. I love you. But more importantly, they got the cap. The Shiny's Moscow set up to counter A7, so it's going to be in Shiny's hands for a hot minute.
Yes.
But ironically, for some reason, Shiny has C-cap. And to be honest with you guys, Chocolate on this map, Northside has the advantage due to the island that is at D9. That for some reason, they are not really utilizing with their booster.
Yeah, they're all kind of hiding far behind it, almost like they're expecting a push and they're going to try to receive it. And I kind of guess it makes sense because A7 is currently pushing through the A cap. Matter of fact, Quartz was smashing Balance Department's Wusta, but is no longer visible. Therefore, he's just going to sit there and hold down left mouse button as Quartz's Kremlin is going to go into the Thunderdome.
He has no choice. But as soon as if this was me, I would be calling folks fire on the Kremlin until he's committed to going into the Thunderdome instead of pulling over for Starbucks.
Yeah, he's not quite sure what to do now, so he's stopping for directions.
And like at that point, I would have called for fire onto the Salem, but
Uh-oh. Balance Department's detected. Here comes Quartz's shot. This is why he stopped. He wanted that shot on the Wooster, and... Oh!
what Wooster?
What Wooster? Now, that's a good clip moment. If anybody's watching every season an epic play, please take a moment and clip. It really does help a lot. That was a brilliant salvo by the Kremlin, and that's exactly why he pulled over and got Starbucks, as you like to say.
Well, I guess in this case, he didn't get Starbucks, he got AIM juice. And the AIM juice was the premium kind.
That's right. Now, despite all of that, you can see that Shiny still has the point lead because they've got 2 caps.
Ironically, here's the problem with A7. You see this in randoms, you've seen this in COTS.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have 2 ships in the Thunderdome. The clock is ticking on whether or not these guys are gonna eventually come out or just sit in the Thunderdome and do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And in order for them to come out, they're gonna take a lot of damage doing it, guys.
Right.
This is why I'm not a big fan of putting your battleship into the Thunderdome, because 9 times out of 10, once he's in, that's where he lives and dies.
And usually it's the dying part that we see more than anything else. So Cookie's just sitting there trying to shoot him from long range, get him on fire. Nope. Panzo is running away. By the way, if you look at it, A7 has realized that there is no push coming through C, so they changed from a kite away to more aggressive push, and they pushed right into Shiny's line, so that's oof. Additional 4 in trouble. Gonna back off. Keep subs out, just got hit a little bit in this Haru. As now the change in target is on Cebu's Moskva, who just kind of said, hey, I'm here, go ahead and shoot me now.
I kind of like what A7's doing. They're not trying to push through to the southern side of Apples. The Wooster and Gumo are rotating back north to go help with Bravo. You have the Salem that is going to be sitting next to the Moskva, and they're going to be playing I spot you, you spot me, yay! Right, the Spanish DD is still kind of sitting at A because, well, the Kremlin wants to push south. He will spot it. The Conqueror is coming back. You know, he's got the DD to help him, right? So, like, A7 can't completely say A side is won, but A7's got to do something because, once again, the red team has 2 caps to year 1, and points are ticking away. And, oh my God, we just got our first stop.
Whoa. Yeah, daring and Kremlin action there. And then there goes Cebu. I was watching him get farmed, and then this happened. And I was going to comment about that, how A7 is kind of throwing a ship away for free there. So, actually, A7 lost 2 ships out of that. And maybe a third? No. That Shimakaze barely misses those torpedoes from Janier. 20. Uh-oh. Look at additional 3 Salem right in front of Max Brix's Moskva coming out of the Thunderdome. It's like, at this point, do you just go for it? Looks like that's what he's doing.
I mean, you have to. Like, Salem should win this.
Yeah, but Moskva has a friend.
I want to point out, all this time of the Kremlin reversing? To do what? To go forward and wait another 3 minutes to fire your guns?
Yep. Let's go take a look at...
Salem buddy's in trouble. Once the Conqueror starts shooting at him, it favors the Moskva.
Absolutely. And the Conqueror is spotted, so A7 knows that this Conqueror is moving. Now, additional 3 is trying to kill Moskva turrets right now. He got a good Citadel earlier. Now he's trying to take out the turrets. Let's see if he actually manages to do it. There's another Citadel.
Ooh, additional 4s almost in. I think he's burning. But
Shimakaze over there.
Coming, and he goes down.
Wooster just gets that kill. Guys, I think we're going to a game 3.
Bring me cookies. I think fix whatever was broken on his ship. Couldn't tell if he was burning or the engines were out.
We saw him do a lot of good things last week. Oh, there's the Conqueror doing Conqueror things.
I think the Conqueror realized he has a 2 key. That's not good news for the Salem because he goes right through your face.
Yep.
And hold on, guys. In another minute and a half, the Kremlin will be involved in this fight.
The enemy is about to
Yes. Exactly.
But I think the Kremlin is doing the correct thing. It's going straight to B. I love you, Salem, buddy, but your additional 3, I'm a big fan of additional 2. Good luck.
Yeah, that's right. You're not additional enough, buddy. Ooh. Haru torps. Yeah. I think those were for King of Hell, and then just the Wooster happened to be there. Unfortunate position.
This Conqueror doesn't last. You have a Wooster Gumo shooting at you, and then you're gonna have a shimmy torping you and a daring torping you.
Well, yeah, and if you look at the points now, there is no point gain for Team Red. So Shiny is not getting any points at this point. So a kill is the win condition for Shiny. For A7, their win condition is literally just hold on. For dear life, white knuckle it. It's the good old days of driving in snow.
King of Hell realizes, man, if I die, this won't be good for my team. Let me
That's right.
make a gamer turn.
That's right, he does that.
And
One torpedo just misses.
dodges that shot of torpedoes, but he's not doing a good job dodging 15 billion shells of HE.
Yeah, well, you know, a little harder to dodge that, I suppose. Look at the points now, guys.
Here comes the Kremlin.
No, look at the other side. Look at the other side. Moskva versus Wooster. Wooster goes down.
Oof.
That does it right there. DK comes in to try to get the Moskva from behind and fails to do so. What a game, guys. We're going to game 3.
Just want to point out, so far, the red team has been the winning team.
And it's the team that didn't pick the map. It's so far it's been the opposite.
Holy crap, who are all these people? Don't they know I'm here? Go away.
They've been told that, I'm sure they've been told that this is a game 3, and everybody else, make sure that I've got it set up correctly. I do. So here we go. This is A7 versus, well, actually Shiny is the seeded team versus A7. Game 3. Whoever wins this moves on in the winner's bracket. Whoever loses this faces AAO in the loser's bracket. On North. So up in the northern spawn, we've got additional 4 in the Daring. Brooksy also in a Daring. Remulebu once again in the Shimakaze. I think they realized that swapping those destroyers was oops last game. We've got a new player, Hisar 1975 in the Salem. Sunako Kirishiki is in a Salem. I don't believe we saw him either. There's DKM reprising his role in the Wushta. Call Me Quartz and King of Hell in the same battleships we've seen so far this match. What do we have to the south for Team Shiny, Puddin'?
To the south, going to Apples in a Shimakaze, Plymouth, and Conqueror. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's the kite side. The Moskva, Kremlin, Salem. I think they brought a couple Salems, and the Gumo are going to Chocolate.
When you're not sure, just bring Salem, guys.
What I'm thinking, Shiny Moskva, driven by Mr. Max Bricks. He's going way south to go north to sit behind potentially Bacon.
Yep.
You do that because when you get spotted getting to the island, you're at least bow in.
So what he's saying is a lot of time when people say, all right, I want you to get to that island at Gulf 7, they'll go straight to it. And if you go straight to that island, 2 problems. One is when you get to that island, you want to be pointing due north if you can. And 2, while you're heading that direction, if you are spotted, your side is absolutely exposed, especially to the battleship that's heading towards the A-cap. Now, Max Bricks just heard what you said and did that last second turn off of the on-ramp, holding down the E-brake while doing so, because he's decided now to go to B.
Well, I mean, that's where you should, that's where you would typically put him with the option to go into the channel or into B. But like I said, you have to go way south, turn up north to actually make this safely. Because you're hoping the battleship isn't in position far enough to touch your broadside.
Now there's
options to stop, turn in, turn out a little bit, do a little bit better dodging to get your nose to go, thank God they bounced.
Right. And we got the initial radar from Max Bricks catching Brooksy off guard, actually, and he's moving forward at almost full speed. That full duration basically keeping Brooksy on radar. Very nice opening play by Shiny there. Matter of fact, he's still getting a little bit of damage in on Brooksy, as Brooksy now has his engine broken. Oh, here comes the Conqueror salvo, though.
All of that going on, Shining managed to cap apples.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, they believe in keeping the doctor away for a day.
Only a day.
But once again, this is food for thought for everybody. Your Salem that is parked literally right behind C, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's your Hydro Salem.
I would hope
It's
so.
going to be way more effective than a radar.
Well, and you see those conga line torpedoes that just went right past Balance Department Salem. If he didn't have hydro running, he'd probably be seeing those torpedoes too late and take a couple. Now, I say that as I don't think he actually has hydro on right now.
I don't think he needed the hydro because the warning should be, oh crap, I'm spotted, and I'm not seeing the daring, which means just back up a little bit. No service is just gonna go right by you, right? That was your cue. You definitely want to save it for when he tries to get the cap because your hydro should be catching him out, or when the other Salem opposite of you is going to be shot at by other guys on the 9-10 line. You just pop your hydro and go, there he is, found him.
I do like what Shiny's putting together over here on the 10 line. We've got Keith Subzat and the Harugumo, who's about to smoke up two Salems, Avenger Squirrel and YOLO. So I really like this play. It's going to, a little bit late in my opinion, for choosing to smoke. As a matter of fact, they're not going to. Now that they see it's a Des Moines there, I think they realize they can't smoke anymore because the smoke will just draw out the radar anyway. But frankly,
YOLO got touched.
oh yeah, but frankly, I would still want to use that smoke because you bait out the radar, and that radar doesn't last for the entire duration of that smoke anyways.
Ironically, I think I would have liked, I mean, like you say, smoke, but at this point, they're just going right at the Des Moines, so smoke would be a complete waste because
Well,
he should have hydro, and oh my gosh, Des Moines and Salem's are being touched on the 10 line.
the additional 3 is stuck broadside to Balance Department's Salem, who just stopped shooting, so he's probably just outside of range. Torpedoes on Harugumo. Catastrophic right there. Oh. And another one on Avenger Squirrel. That was a lot they just lost for this. And the reason I say the smoke is important is because right now you need that smoke. So I understand what you were saying about get the Des Moines down first and then smoke, but
Now's, like, the Gumo should be smoking right now. Whether
Yeah.
these guys are spotted or not, this is when you actually drop the smoke. The Des Moines dead. You're like, you need a whistle, a therapist, a counselor, several dowels, because you've been touched in several places as the Gumo. I don't agree with the Gumo just sitting there.
yeah. Now
He needs
he's
to
going to
get
pull
this-
out.
Yeah, like Ledgebot or not, you need to get that smoke a little bit more forward.
You know,
The
I
Kremlin knows there. The Daring's running away because he doesn't want to deal with
yeah.
double Salem. Of course, they don't know the Daring's like, nah, I'm opting out of here.
I wonder if
You
the slow roll here with the Haru is because he's concerned about being spotted. His spotting is 6.6, so if he were speeding very quickly and the Kremlin hit W at him, he'd actually be spotted. So that's why he's crawling forward so slowly.
Well, here's the other thing. Like, they're being smart. They're keeping the Gumo in smoke to help farm out this Kremlin because your Kremlin is spotting their Kremlin.
Right.
And right now, this is a 4v1. And not a mathematician, guys, but the one guy, I would not want to be him. Ironically, he's doing a smart thing and just, well, I'm just going to W because you guys are behind an island. There's a small smoke cloud, which means these guys really can't afford to move forward.
No, this would give the Salems though the opportunity to get to the border and therefore have more room to maneuver. For whatever reason, they're choosing to sit there as the Plymouth goes and dies south over at A side. We haven't been catching most of what is going on there. I wanted to talk to you about the decision to bring a Plymouth, but well, he died before we could.
Well, the decision to bring a Plymouth has kind of shown itself.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that too. Sorry, Happa Fodder. We love you.
If that Plymouth was driven by Mr. Hepafodder, I'd be like, okay, that makes sense. Right?
Call Me Quartz is about to go down in the Kremlin. No.
And this is why
Yes.
additional 1 is better than additional 2, because he's still alive.
There he goes.
And there goes Quartz. And with that being said, you could probably move your Salem of Balance department into the C cap.
Yeah, we also have a rematch from the last game, the Salem and Moskva fight.
But there won't be any Wooster dying this time because they brought a Plymouth.
Instead.
And he's nowhere near the side anyways. Now, Shiny can take their Kremlin and actually just cut it through C into the gap. Interesting
So-
where the Daring decided to mosey off to.
Oh, all the way over to A?
Yeah, well, I'm telling
Sinako's
you,
in
A7's
trouble.
additional 4 on top of C.
Sinako Salem is in trouble. I'm surprised that he's stopping there so he can be shot at some more. I suppose he's
The guy's a
concerned.
giver.
He's a giver, yeah. He's probably just he's concerned about these other Salems, but you gotta take that risk. You can't just sit there and die like that. But that's what he did.
I mean, the sad thing is he was, well, I mean, he was in a bad spot. Who you died to, the Salem or the Kremlin? Because like I said, the Kremlin's doing the correct thing cutting through. So A7 Salem can't play, well, just get on the other side of the island. The other side.
Oh, Hussar decides to move forward and try to take the fight to Max Bricks. Panza was ready with AP and just clobbered him.
Ouch, I missed that.
Completely clobbered him.
Well, he's going for the ram.
At this point, I don't like that. I think that's really silly. But
Well, he does have 1 turret destroyed. But you're down ships. This doesn't help you. It helps the enemy.
I mean, I think once that Conqueror got that shot in, that was it for that guy, right? He was okay. He was kind of maintaining for a while, but it's interesting watching both ships try to just disable the opposite, their opponent with AP. You can absolutely do that, and that's playing more for the long game. But
That
Yeah.
being said, this is still a very tight game because China
It really
only has
is.
1 cap to A7 has 2, and there are a lot of low health ships. Right?
Yeah.
If the Daring and Shimmy bump, there is a chance that the Daring and Shimmy actually just do trade right out.
well, and the thing is, we can't see the builds, but these guys are both most likely running radio location. So if I'm Brooksy, I'm just hitting W. And if I'm Janier, being that low, I'm torpedoing and running from that radio location. That's exactly what he's doing right now.
They would be running towards my Salem.
Well,
and
that too.
Begging the Salem
For
not
team
to
play?
go up the channel, to go down to the bottom where the Moskva initially started, because when you get bumped, you are clearly pinging, have your guns looking in this general direction, and the Salem just bullies the Daring. Right?
Now, Daring does have the hydro up. He sees the torpedoes. Knows he's close.
What you could do, instead of doing what Balance Department is doing, you take out the Daring, then the Salem can move into Bacon and cap it. Right? Get the guns out of the game is a little bit more important. The other thing, though, on the flip side, putting the Salem into Bacon means Daring, you need to go spot the Salem, which gives the Shimmy an opportunity to move closer, and potentially they sandwich the Daring.
Yeah, but if you
So
look at
there
it,
are
that's not
options on
happening.
that.
Additional 1 is now being forced to back off in the Kremlin. There's the radar from DK's Worcester catching the Salem in the middle and broadside. King of Hell, is he ready? He's got some guns. It looks like it is AP. Balance Department making the turn. Daring stops, smokes, and opens up. That gives Janier a chance to back off.
more importantly, the daring smoking up here to minimum damage to Salem
Yeah.
tells everybody exactly where you are. Like, oh look, there's a smoke cloud right here. I
Well,
wonder what's there.
And
It's
look at
not the
YOLO.
Midway, guys.
Look at YOLO. YOLO is now coming. He just got spotted by Brooksy, so that trap is gone. Brooksy's going to be forced to go south. Congratulations on Keep Subs Out for keeping himself alive at 111 hit points. Maximum adrenaline rush. Torpedoes do connect on Balance Department, and AP from Conqueror coming in, missing. Honestly, if I'm that Conqueror, I'm just shooting HE. Nice hit on Balance Department.
That hit tells you why you just shoot AP at a Salem.
Well,
but,
sure.
Once again, it is a Conqueror, but Balance Department finally goes dark because YOLO's going, get away from my buddy. We brought 47 Salems for a reason.
There he is again, detected again. Here comes the AP salvo. Let's follow them in. Nice hit. Very solid hit. Got the resets.
They are not letting him get that cap with the resets.
Well, and they just reset his hit point pool to 0.
Now they're definitely not letting him get it at all.
That's right. And with that, A7 is looking pretty strong. 2 caps, about to get a third. Additional 4 has gone into the C cap with his daring.
And that's what I was calling out earlier. Was it interesting that he went all the way north of C and was like, okay, I'll just let you guys move on. I'll just come back and back cap you.
Mm-hmm. And Avenger Squirrel's about to go out in the Salem. 5 minutes to go. There he goes.
I'm not that great at math, but I'm pretty sure A7's on a 1 cap win right now. Like, they don't even need to defend B.
I think you're absolutely correct on that. But here's the problem.
The funny thing, they don't even need to defend A. Nobody's making it to C in time.
Here comes some long, ultra long range shots from the Conqueror on YOLO's Salem. And just miss. Oh, but these don't. Brooksy gets the kill. Actually, it's a double as the Harugumo goes down as well. A7 will advance in the tournament, going 2-1. Look at all the ships dying in that feed at the end. What a series.
And that is why you send ships to the 9-ton line in a comp environment, because you get control of that side and then you just start pushing the enemy away from the cap.
Absolutely.
Start taking...
Absolutely. Well, congratulations again to A7. Let's go ahead and put that shiny winner screen up. And guys, we will be bringing you the next match soon.tm.
The training room is done, correct?
Should be.
Oh, I can always rejoin it.
And I believe we're looking for Lemon.